I'm an Ultra Magnus fan through and through, but as any Transformers fan would tell you, not all Transformers are created equal, and some of them would kinda make you want to tear your hair out in frustration, usually because of the transformation. Transformers are essentially puzzles with 2 or more final outcomes, and sometimes the transformation is kind of a chore, making it less fun to play with. Now and then, you'll find yourself just keeping a Transformer in one mode because it's not something you want to face again in the near future. Thankfully, Ultra Magnus doesn't have a lot of those, but he still has some worth mentioning. In my case, I like transformations to be intuitive and somehow glide and guide into place. But if I need to get something at just the right angle to facilitate a transformation, it takes a bit of fun out of it. So here are my top 5 most annoying Ultra Magnus transformations. Now, I have to give a special sound out to G1 Ultra Magnus here because yes, I know, it's the simplest, dumbest transformation ever. But if you forget to compress the legs of the G1 cab just right, you'll risk it biting your finger as you transform. Here goes. At number 5, Beast Hunters or Takara Adventures Ultra Magnus. The swinging and spinning required to get Ultra Magnus will take some getting used to because the arm assembly is not intuitive at all. The sinewy design of the arms doesn't help, but what really gets me is the way you have to get just the right angle for the stacks to spin around to get from alt mode to bot mode and back. You can force it in place, and thankfully, 2 things will keep you from breaking your Ultra Magnus: a soft inner mechanism for the pivot, and the fact that it's on a mushroom peg. Swing too hard and it'll just come right off. I always breathe a sigh of relief whenever I manage to do this transformation without hitting the edges of his shoulder stacks. But do I love this figure? Yes. Number 4, Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. Much of the engineering of the Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus is a fairly straightforward redo of the G1 toy, especially in the leg, with not just holding the thigh and leg together in bot mode. But if you don't get it in just right, you risk not being able to close the legs flush or forcing them with friction. I recommend readjusting because if you keep it in bot mode and the plastics are battling each other inside the leg assembly, there's a large possibility that you'll just stress out this newer, softer Hasbro plastic. Also, the hollow legs can come free of the thigh in the assembly if you forget to align everything just right. Number 3, Transformers Animated Ultra Magnus. Seriously, these Transformers animated leader class figures shouldn't be for kids with the ability to injure you while transforming. The hard plastics on Ultra Magnus make it less than safe to do freehand transforming, lest you get bit, especially on the leg parts. And those arms! Getting the arms to come off the shoulder pads is such a chore. I wonder why it didn't come with a request adult supervision tag sometimes. And yes, this one has bitten me several times, which is why I almost never transform him anymore. Number 2, FansProject Ultra Magnus Parallax Armor. Keep in mind that this isn't like a lot of the regular Ultra Magnus armors where you transform the trailer to come over the cab in bot mode. And honestly, the base figure, which is the Hasbro Generations Classics Ultra Magnus, is fairly easy to transform on its own. But here, with the Parallax armor, the cab itself is already armored up, and if all goes as planned, you'll have a Blue Cab Ultra Magnus bot mode straight transformed from the truck mode. But yeah, it rarely goes as planned. The pieces were intended to securely fasten in order to facilitate transformation, but you will almost never have a transformation where something doesn't try and fall off, especially the forearm part. I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to just glue stuff together just to make sure I could go through a seamless transformation with no issue. The only thing that's been stopping me is the Hasbro Generations Classics White Ultra Magnus tends to yellow, and I want to be able to de-yellow it without all those blue parts getting in the way one day when that happened. And on the number 1 spot, are you ready? I'm wondering what yours is. Planet X Apollo. Oh my god. I love this figure, but its transformation sequences are so finicky and obnoxious. The side parts of the legs will occasionally not slot to where you need them to be when going from alt to bot mode, and the leg guards are tedious to crack off the wheel panel to go into robot mode. Getting the 5mm port panel in and out of the legs is also such a pain, and I've learned that pushing from the back is what does the job. Do not pull from the front, even if that's what it looks like you should be doing. But the most annoying part is the transformation in the arms. I have tried my very best to memorize how the arm transformation goes, but really, it's just a matter of moving things to where they'll end up being in a different place, but not without a lot of effort. And it's worse when you can't see what you're doing because you have the Ultra Magnus armor panels on there. Now again, do not get me wrong, I still love these Ultra Magnus figures, and I always will. But some make it a little less fun to transform. So sometimes when I had to take pictures of the bot modes, I'm kind of wondering if I should because of all the effort it'll take. Then again, that goes for a lot of transformers. And I'm sure there are worse ones out there who aren't Ultra Magnus. I'm looking at you, MP44. Anyway, thanks for sticking with me till the end, and soon I'll be doing 5 best transformations video for Ultra Magnus as well, with some of the items from this list maybe even overlapping onto that one. Maybe you're wondering how that could happen. Follow me at xpaco on Twitter. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you get notified for more content. Till next time, this has been X's Toy Universe.